Title fight time right now as we get set for our main event of the evening and taking our first look at Cameron VanCamp. VanCamp out of Lebanon, Indiana, fights out of indie boxing and grappling. We don't know him locally. I will tell you this, he's got a pretty good reputation. Ranked as the #1 welterweight in Indiana and Kentucky, number 10 welterweight in the country by Tapology. That's what we know about this guy. We know a lot more about this champ, Craig Eckelberg.
Craig Eckelberg.
One of my favorite fights to call was Craig Eckelberg's last fight. It was a title fight for the vacant title, and it was against Patrick Delgado, the Ghost. It went to a split decision in what was, by everyone's view, I mean, just a great fight to be a part of. Two pros duking it out in the cage, doing a great job. Eckelberg got the split decision victory that I think a lot of us felt that he did deserve. It was a great night here at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 17. That night is behind him now. Now he's got to defend that belt against a very game Cameron VanCamp. Let's go up to Chris.
Brought to you by TNT and Kearns and sanctioned by the Department of Safety and Professional Services Program Director Mary Murphy Edwards, Assistant Deputy Commissioner Mr. Matt Reynolds. Your cage side position for this bout, Dr. Richard Barney. Your judges, Larry Struck, Rick Winter, and Gabe Sabatis, with timekeeper Mike Rogers, and the man in charge of this bout, veteran referee Mr. Tom DeVellis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for, our main event of the evening for the Super Lightweight Championship. Introducing first, this man fighting out of the TNT red corner. He stands in at 6'2" tall. He weighed at 165 pounds. He represents indie boxing and grappling and hails from Lebanon, Indiana. An impressive record, 12 victories, only 5 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Cameron VanCamp. His opponent is this man, standing across the cage and fighting out of the Kearns blue corner. He stands in at 5'10" tall. He weighed in at 165 ready pounds. He hails from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and represents Rufus Sport in 16 professional bouts. He has 10 victories. He is the reigning, the defending, the undisputed Super Lightweight Champion, Craig Eckelberg.
There's no rules, no questions. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves if you wish. Right corner, pair.
Eckelberg and VanCamp. Craig Eckelberg looking to remain perfect in the Chosen Few cage. We have seen him fight at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 13. He got a unanimous decision over Brandon Suber, a unanimous decision over Darren Gibbs in number 16, and then again won that title over Patrick Delgado back in September. And a good start here by Eckelberg, and again looking to take this to the mat, as where he is very proficient as a wrestler. VanCamp, by the way, he likes striking, has heavy hands, and loves also taking tough fights. If you look at his record, he does not back away from any opponent. Has fought all guys with very good records.
And it takes fighters like that to beat Eckelberg. You have to bully him to beat him, because normally in all of his victories, he's the bully. He's the one laying on top, not allowing you to move. He's very aggressive when it comes to his ground fighting, so he loves takedowns, loves to spend the entire fight on top just punishing you until you quit. So if you're going to fight a guy like Eckelberg, that's the best attitude to come in and take control of the cage like VanCamp has done so far.
All right, at the beginning there, Craig's actually doing a good job letting his hands go in this fight. Got touched a little bit, but really getting the better of the grappling exchanges and landed some good hands in the beginning there. And now it's his opponent's really the one looking to grapple.
It might be trite to say, but Eckelberg is the proverbial cement blanket. He does like to fight in close quarters, will get on you, doesn't let you breathe or move all that much. But, yeah, I mean, great point, Gerald. I mean, it seems like it's VanCamp right now that's been taken to the grappling and wanting to fight in tight with Eckelberg.
And those little shovel uppercuts are nice. He needs to keep throwing those. He does have a taller fighter on him right now, so it's a little tougher to land, but it seems like he's got a lot of power behind that, and he landed a few of those in the close quarter exchanges they had toward the center of the cage, too.
Right, and even before being the shorter fighter, you know, Craig did land a knee to VanCamp's head, and like you said, those shovel uppercuts. And I like to see him keep opening up and maybe put VanCamp against the cage.
Another knee, but Eckelberg also catching a left, and now taking the back is VanCamp, and he likes this. In fact, this is how he finishes a lot of fights, is on the back of his opponent.
And Eckelberg was flailing a bit on that last exchange, which is what got him in trouble here. So if they do get back on the feet and Eckelberg wants to land, he needs to be a bit more controlled when he gets into the striking.
Craig's got to be careful here. He got that body triangle in, laced it through. He's not in any real danger yet, but definitely not in a dominant position. And he's got a longer fighter on his back. When he tried to build up right away, he kind of left his back exposed, and that's one thing you can't stress enough when you want to get up. Sometimes in wrestling they say you got to build your base, but even in wrestling you got to build your base and create an angle to stand up so you don't give the back.
Good right hand by VanCamp, brought up a bit of a welt on the right side of the head of Craig Eckelberg. Not sure if it's a cut, though. I don't believe that it's a cut, but it's close to that, as it's just above the right eye of Eckelberg. In fact, he's doing a little squinting. VanCamp, again, likes to be on opponents' backs, and he is pretty much in control right now, seemingly very comfortable against Eckelberg, who seems a little bit out of sorts right now, as, again, VanCamp now looking to go ahead and choke Eckelberg off.
It's not under the chin, but the way he's got his neck cranked, I'm wondering if there's a blood issue here.
Extending now on Eckelberg. Eckelberg in trouble here in the first round still. Almost 90 seconds to go.
Great job from Eckelberg getting rid of that.
Well, Craig's got to get his elbows inside, his hands inside, make sure he can't reach around that neck. He's getting a little bit wide. He's got to still control the inside ties even though the guy's on his back, and try to get an elbow to one side or the other, create an angle if he can.
VanCamp coming in here, I mean, basically got a couple of golf claps of applause, maybe a couple people, some stragglers from Lebanon, Indiana. Eckelberg, the hometown favorite in this one, has the crowd behind him, but right now he also has VanCamp behind him, and VanCamp's doing work.
And a beautiful Travis Brown elbow style to the side of the head from VanCamp there. If you noticed when he had his back, he kind of went across Eckelberg's body, came back with that driving elbow, and it looked like it did a little bit of damage.
Right. And again, every time Craig's building up, he's going right to his knees, and it's not quick enough. Sometimes you can build your base and explode up to your feet, but you've already got a guy on your back. He's got his hooks pretty much in. You can't build up to your base the same way. You got to try to dig an underhook, maybe wrestle back in, turn it into an offensive takedown on the ground, like right here in this half guard position, or get to the cage.
Good shots being landed now by VanCamp. Eckelberg holding on here in the final 10 seconds of round number one. Couple of elbows raining down now on Eckelberg, as a good round for the challenger, as Cameron VanCamp has come up from Indiana and did work here in round number one. We'll take it to round number two right after this on TVW. Replay time right now, as you see VanCamp on the back of Eckelberg, got there about halfway through round number one and did a lot of damage, and actually almost had that choke in on Craig. Craig doing a good job of staying alive in round number one.
It's going to be no easy task to choke Craig, but when you have someone's back, you're kind of playing with fire there. It's almost to the guy that has your back's benefit, to VanCamp's benefit. He can take his time, get the back again, and slowly work for that choke, so Craig's got to really avoid building his base and giving up the back to stand up.
So what are your adjustments here for Craig here in round number two for the champ? What's he got to do?
Stay on the feet. If you're going to go to the ground, stay on top. And if you do end up on your back and have to get up, get to half guard with that underhook, use the stand up that way, use the cage, or try to go to half guard and turn it into an offensive single leg, low single leg on the ground. Get back to your wrestling roots.
I'd agree with you, Gerald, if I thought Eckelberg's striking was a little more refined. He got so wild toward the end there. I'd worry about him getting caught with a retreating left the way he almost did, but turns out it's not even going to matter.
Yeah, taken down right away. Eckelberg, by the way, has come out in the second round soaking wet. I mean, it looks like he was taking a shower. In fact, the referee paused for a second and toweled him down, but he's soaked.
Well, I haven't seen him work this hard in a while.
Yeah. And I do know Craig personally, so obviously all my commentary is going to be slightly biased, but the dude sweats like a pig all the time. It's just, everyone knows that Craig sweats a lot. It just happens.
And it is happening here tonight as he is being put to the test by VanCamp.
I really like VanCamp's composure here on the ground. It's not in a super hurry to do anything. He's position over submission, which is another great thing they teach you when you're learning jiu-jitsu. You don't have to hurry anything. You want to get that position first before you try anything. I just really like how composed he is right now in this fight.
Right, and right here, he's doing good control in the head, but Craig does have a chance. He's got that underhook. He's got to come high up on the body, try to get his hips out, and he might be able to stand up from here if he can post that hand and get off his elbow. But there, VanCamp doing the right thing, sliding that knee over. Now he just goes to the other side half guard.
VanCamp seems to have an answer for everything that Eckelberg is trying to do here in round number 2, as again, Eckelberg finished the first round with VanCamp on his back. This round it's been VanCamp on his stomach and on his chest, and VanCamp is not letting up.
Well, right now, VanCamp is, I think, wanting Craig to resist a little bit more, and then he's going to explode and posture up with some ground and pound and possibly look for the back. So now when he doesn't want to strike, he's going to settle back down. But Craig really doing well to try and heist over, but there it was. He was waiting for that. Craig, if he can turn that shoulder back in and pull that elbow, he's got to watch out for a triangle and keep his butt down, but he's pretty much on top at this point.
Yep, VanCamp has long legs, and like you said, Craig is sweaty, so slipping something in might not be difficult.
Oh, that could be a little reverse arm lock. Craig's got to square up with him right now.
Oh, and there's the armbar, and he might have that in. Eckelberg is in all kinds of trouble right now, but he's able to slither his way out of it.
He's rolled out, now back on top again. He's going for that arm. Craig's really got to get that elbow across, avoid that triangle.
And now blood coming off the side of the face of VanCamp. Not sure if that came from Eckelberg or if it's coming out of VanCamp's nose. Either way, it doesn't seem to be bothering either fighter.
And there's the triangle
again. Yep. He's got to get his elbow on the other side of VanCamp's body. He has to move to his right, shimmy his hips to his right. And he's got to,
oh, man, that's it. He's tapping out, and that is it. Triangle got in on Eckelberg, and what an impressive display by Cameron VanCamp. He came in with a very good reputation of being an all-around fighter who could fight with heavy hands, also fight on the ground, and he displayed a little bit of everything. I've never seen Eckelberg dominated like this. We have seen him just be the bully, fight after fight here in the Chosen Few Arena. That did not happen tonight. We have a brand new champion, and his name is Cameron VanCamp. We will take a look at the replay, the finish, and get the official word right after this from Chosen Few Fighting Championships, number 18 on TVW.
And gentlemen, the end of this bout comes at 2 minutes 54 seconds of round number 2. For your winner by triangle choke and the new super lightweight champion, Cameron VanCamp.
VanCamp getting the belt put on by Josh Sterry, as I think we'll have a chance to see how the finish happened as well, but I think Chris is going to get a few words from our new champion here, and it is Cameron VanCamp.
Cameron, you came into this fight when I introduced you to a few tiny little claps, and then you surprised the crowd and are taking home the gold over a very game opponent. You controlled that fight almost from the get-go once you got Craig's back. Talk us a little bit about how close you were to finishing that with the rear naked choke over here in the corner.
I came out and I expected to beat him in the striking, and he actually started banging on me, so I had to switch up my game plan. When I had that choke over there, it was close, he had his chin in a little bit. kind of burned my arms a little bit, but I just knew I had him on the ground and get out.
And we can tell from right away the second round when you took him down that you felt extremely comfortable there. You had him in trouble most of the time, even when he tried to reverse you, switching from arm bars to triangles, back to arm bars. So great job. What's next for you with that gold?
You know, I'm trying to fight on the biggest shows I can. I feel like I belong in the state games, so that's what I'm trying to get.
Well, congratulations. You are the new super lightweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, big round of applause. Your new champion, Cameron VanCamp.
Impressive display from VanCamp. Let's see how the finish came as he got that triangle in and tapping out. You saw with the left hand right there was Eckelberg. And Gerald, tell you what, we've seen Craig be the bully so often. It was kind of almost shocking to watch this happen here tonight.
Yeah, VanCamp did a good job. He locked that triangle in, couldn't quite finish it. You know, Craig's got really broad shoulders, and he's going to fight those chokes as hard as he can. But when he switched to that arm bar and there's that leverage on the arm, there's only so much you can do, especially with a longer fighter. So he did well to isolate the arm in that instance and get the tap.
Wow, great finish for VanCamp, the new champ, and that is how we will finish up Chosen Few Fighting Championships. Number 18 will come back, put a bow on it. Stick around as you're watching MMA on TVW.